The British royal family has had a long-standing relationship with animals. Today they are the monarch's faithful companions, but their connection hasn't always been a loving one. Back in the 12th century, wild animals were kept at large in the Royal Menagerie in the Tower of London for the amusement of the kings and their courtiers.
The king was getting various gifts from other heads of state around the world, and he needed somewhere to keep them. Elephants, we had lions, tigers, zebras, we had reptiles, we had ostriches, pumas, any animal you can think of around the known world at the time, at various points would be given to the monarch as a gift, and they would be kept at the tower.
At one point, the Royal Menagerie housed almost 300 animals. But it was in the 1830s that the decision was made to end this most bizarre display of curiosities. The animals have recently, however, made a comeback when artist Kendra Haste was commissioned to make 13 life-size sculptures.
I heard of the commission and I was very excited to put a proposal forward because I had learnt of the menagerie existing at the Tower many years ago. As a student, I wrote a thesis on the role of zoos, and it's been fascinating working with the Tower and the historical curators and everything that's been involved with the project.
Using only wire mesh, Kendra has managed to evoke the once powerful presence of these beasts. 3 commanding lions greet the visitors at the gateway of the Tower.
From the 1100s, lions have been kept at the Tower right through to the 1830s, and of course they've become very symbolic with the imagery of England and the 3 lions on the English coat of arms. So lions were an absolute definite animal that we needed to include.
In 1252, a polar bear was given to Henry III by the King of Norway. It became an everyday occurrence then to see the shackled bear being led by a keeper to fish for food in the River Thames.
I really wanted to capture the sort of powerful bulk of a polar bear, and it was really fascinating for me the story that he used to fish in the Thames. So I wanted to have this magnificent beast as if he'd just come out of the water, and you could see the lovely underlying forms and the bulk of this magnificent animal.
The keepers back then had no knowledge of animal welfare.
The people that were looking after the animals were not always trained in what exotic animals would eat. So they would eat what they thought they were very good at eating. For instance, the ostriches they thought were very rich in iron, and they would actually give them nails thinking they could digest them. There's recorded that one ostrich at the Tower ate over 8 nails in a day and unfortunately died, and one tends to wonder why.
Baboons were also seen roaming freely at the Tower.
We also made a troupe of baboons, 8 baboons in total. And again, there's a very long history of monkeys and apes being kept at the Tower. There was one particularly badly behaved baboon who had a terrible reputation at throwing things at the visitors, and actually, sadly, tragically killed a boy on his journey to the Tower on board a ship. He threw a cannonball at a young boy and killed him. So I really wanted to make the monkeys quite anarchic and wild, and it was wonderful being able to have some of the baboons on top of the walls and the turrets of the Tower.
These sculptures offer a glimpse of what it must have been like at the Tower of London centuries ago, before this bizarre display of curiosities and power came to an end.
Hopefully my sculptures managed to capture something of an animal's powerful presence, and I think the wire certainly does help to give that sense of sort of ghost-like creatures of the past.